you're using.
You please
Whether
change
it's a
it.
pad or it's a tampon, you've got to change
it.
4 or 6.
Between 4 and 6 hours is
But
the
6 is the
safest.
upper limit.
Absolutely.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
That's not what I've been using.
See, and then you said you were one of those.
This has been such a revelation for me.
We need to meet more often.
Is it the same for tampons?
It is the same for tampons too.
Yeah.
Yeah, in fact, shorter for tampons because they are
Admitted, admitted. You've also been aware today.
Yes.
And an interesting thing, because this only came to light when I was asked to speak today. So I sat with my maid in the morning and I'm asking her what she does, like in terms of hygiene they all stay in slums, so what do they do and how do they cope? And
Was she really shocked first? Was she okay to talk about it?
very close.
Oh.
So she was very comfortable to talk to me about it. And then I asked her about, because she purchases my sanitary napkins and hers. And I asked her about, because I was now starting to think about the cost around sanitary napkins. Like how does everyone afford it? And, interesting perception, and I won't name the brand. So she uses Stay Free because she said it was 27 rupees a packet. And she buys a more expensive packet for me because she thinks price equates with quality. So
which is the biggest problem today. Which is really the biggest problem today because, unfortunately, the cotton ones disintegrate after a while. Beyond 4 to 6 hours, you'll find the cotton, it kind of crumbles, and there are times where you can find the cotton on your panty also, just because of the fact that you've been active and moving around, and the cotton has started crumbling. Whereas these thin ones do not have that problem. So, and those are the ones which are more expensive. But I, as a doctor, and I'm sure most gynecologists will say the same thing, would prefer to use a cotton sanitary pad in our kind of climate, which is more humid, than the more expensive
I'm sure we've all
variety.
learned something. I have.
I have, totally.
No, in fact, I wanted to add something to what Doctor said. It was very interesting because she's speaking scientifically and I'm thinking of all the traditional knowledge I've heard and how much there is a relation. Because traditionally too, the thing that they say is menstrual blood is completely sterile. There is nothing wrong in it. And whether we associate odor or whatever, it's only when it comes in contact with products which are not changed often enough. So if you go back to ancient times, which in some tribal areas they still follow, they don't use products. They sit in separate menstrual huts and they bleed into the earth.
Wow.
And
can I add, there is a company which had come up with something which is called Alicia, or a menstrual cup. It used to be available a couple of years ago, and you could put it into, like a cap on the cervix, and they would collect menstrual blood and dispose it off. And all you got to do is wash it with soap and water and reinstill it or reinsert it into the vagina.
Yeah, it can be used for up to 1 year. It's called the She Cup, available in India also. And a lot of people are taking to it because one of the biggest things we haven't spoken about with products is environmental damage. With sanitary napkins, that is a big area, big concern that we all need to think about. So while we do promote hygienic methods, we shouldn't do it at a compromising environment. I'm connected with the international community, and let me tell you one thing. In the Western world, everyone is turning eco-friendly. They're turning to reusables, they're turning to cloth, they're turning to She Cups. And India is already there. We need to really think carefully what we are trying to promote, because we can do the course correction now. We are environmentally friendly. We can do things wherein we don't have to damage the environment and yet keep hygiene in mind. So this is where we are really at an early stage and we can make the right decisions instead of going the way the other countries have, wherein they have majority of people damaging the environment and now they're trying to say, no, reusables are good. So this is something we need to keep in mind. We have an advantage here.
Great. So I've been asking all the questions. I think if it's time we open the floor. Questions. Anybody here has any questions to anyone? Yeah.
Hi. Hello. Hi. My name is Mansi, and I run a blog, and I have wellness as a topic in it. I don't know if all of you know it, but there was recently a big controversy on Instagram about a lady posting a picture of her menstruating, and it was taken off. Instagram asked her to take it off. So one of my questions is it only an Indian thing? I mean, obviously if Instagram is saying take it off, it's something that everybody is uncomfortable with. I don't know who I'm particularly asking this to, but what do you judge on this? What's your take?
I'd
on
actually
it?
asked this question to doctor before this, when we were sitting and I was just getting as much information as I could on the subject. And I'm actually going to ask, the reason I wanted to say this, because this is a question I also had. I actually wanted to ask her, which I will ask again now, is how do our menstrual education awareness levels stack up compared to Western societies, A, and Eastern societies? Because we have to understand that we are an Eastern society. So culturally, we are very different from, say, the West, which is a very, very open society. So I will allow Doctor to answer that, but this is a question that I also had for her earlier.
Culturally, menstruation has not been accepted as something which is sacrosanct or which is healthy, or it's something that nobody wants to talk about. Unfortunately, we are like a multicultural place, and as a Catholic, we never had any problems. We spoke about menstruation in schools. Our father knew that the child was menstruating. He'd bring my sanitary pads. And we were never stopped from church, or we received our communion. We did just about everything as a Catholic. I grew up as one, and I never had a problem with menstruation. But unfortunately, there are certain cultures which say, don't do this, don't do that, don't go into the kitchen, don't touch the idol, don't touch food. I mean, somebody said about negative energies and positive energies. But scientifically, I would not believe any of that. I think a woman is as clean as she is any other day, even when she's menstruating. As far as our education levels go, because we don't talk about it, people don't know anything. And they're living in a preconceived notion or a preconceived idea of the past, and we're living in our false glory. Compared to the West, people are more open. They do want to know. They do want to talk. So maybe they're more open to change than what we are today.
You're going to Boston for an international event on the same thing, right? So I'm sure it's being talked about everywhere. So
Yeah.
it is definitely...
See, there's a big difference in the way the West talks about it and the way we do. For them, it is a feminist issue. For us, we talk about it in terms of hygiene and sanitation. And therein lies the difference. I'm actually making a presentation on the ground realities in India and the cultural practices and what it means. In the West, the feminism is moving to a situation where they're actually saying that it should be a free blood movement. I should be used products. This is how nature meant it to happen. We should just bleed. If you just Google free blood movement, you will see photos of women in Spain bleeding on white pants and saying, so what? So that is where they are. And we are at a stage where we have attached it so much to hygiene and sanitation. In fact, I was very shocked when I saw that menstrual hygiene management is very recently made a part of Swachh Bharat mission. Clean India, clean your environment, I understand, but clean your vagina? Seriously. So we are kind of losing track of what menstruation really is here by going too much into these aspects. I'm not saying that it is one or the other. I'm saying it's both. There is very clearly a hygiene aspect to it. There is a feminist angle to it. And one is the awareness of how to keep yourself clean, what to use, which I would probably agree with Doctor in saying that it is more in the West. But if you look at the understanding of menstruation as a process of the positivity and what it's meant to do to women, I think traditionally at least India has a lot more of that knowledge. Any ancient society, India or Africa, has more of that ancient wisdom around menstruation than the Western countries.
The
All right.
Instagram picture, I think, was more of feminism.
Can we have the last question?